Welcome back to TechniqueWOD. Today we're doing something kind of unique for TechniqueWOD. Me, Mike, and Chris, we're all going to be on the show all together, and we're going to give our thoughts on how to tweak a single day's training based on how you're feeling. So if this is your workout, some days your shoulder hurts, some days you feel absolutely amazing, and some other days you only have 3 hours of sleep. What changes do you make to your workout? That's what we're going to show you today. Okay, so these are kind of ambiguous terms. Shoulder hurting could really mean damn near anything. So today, how I'm going to define your shoulder hurting is that going overhead is something you can do. You're able to do it. It's just kind of achy and your shoulder just doesn't feel very good going overhead specifically. Feeling amazing basically means that you woke up that day and you just feel super motivated. You feel very explosive. You feel very fast. And you just kind of generally feel very, very good.
Dick full of confidence.
Yeah, dick confidence. And then sleeping only 3 hours, that's the only actual quantifiable one. You know what you feel like on 3 hours of sleep. You probably feel tired. You probably feel like shit. But somehow, some way, you still want to train. You don't want it to be a total waste of day. What can you do to change this workout where you can still get something done without totally just taking the whole day off? So we'll start off with part one here with your shoulder hurting. It hurts to go overhead. Obviously, it's a weightlifting workout, so going overhead is something you're probably going to do numerous times during the workout, on snatches, on jerks, on pull-ups in today's example. So, Mike, I'll direct the first part at you. If your shoulder hurts and you have snatches planned, then what is a modification you can make to snatches where you can still get some benefit that would help the snatch without exacerbating your shoulder pain?
So I don't even need to change sets, reps, or the weight. All I need to do is change the movement a little bit, and I would just change snatches to snatch high pull. So that all that is you're with a full snatch, you're getting overhead. A snatch high pull includes everything up to this point. So your elbows get high and outside, bar stays nice and close. Probably you're shooting to get that bar about nipple height, but maintaining the same exact bar path as if you were doing a snatch.
Right, and we do have TechniqueWODs on snatch high pulls, so you can go to barbellshrugged.com and just go to the search bar and type in snatch high pulls, and there's a TechniqueWOD on that movement. Chris, for clean jerks, what kind of modifications can we make if you can't go overhead?
Skip the jerk altogether. Go home and have a beer. No, I guess you have to back off the jerk a little bit, right?
Yeah, that's very true. In this case, if your shoulder really was bothering that much, you could just do the clean and just skip the jerk altogether. If you wanted to do a clean and then do some overhead something, you could just probably throw it in, along with your pull-ups. You could do pull-ups along with like dumbbell overhead press or something to give your shoulders a little bit of work. Again, if it's bothering your shoulder, then maybe doing a straight overhead press wouldn't be a good option. Maybe you did an incline dumbbell press, or maybe you just did push-ups or bench press or something where you're still pressing, but you'd want to find a pressing movement that didn't hurt your shoulder. Horizontal pressing generally feels better than overhead pressing, so that might be a good option. So you could just scrap it all together and just do cleans. What about back squat? Do we need to make any adjustments on back squat?
Probably not.
With the exception of if you're a bigger person, if you're jacked in the shoulders, and everybody knows it, like maybe I am, I don't know. I'm joking. But if you're a bigger guy and you have like a mobility issue in your shoulders, sometimes getting under a back squat bar and putting weight on your shoulders while that won't be a primary cause for shoulder pain, sometimes it can kind of not help it heal as fast as it might if you've just done too much work. So one workout, you could probably just go front squat for that session, or you could do a safety bar squat just to kind of relax your arms and get the stimulus on your legs to give your shoulder a chance to accelerate and heal a little quicker.
Yep, yeah, perfect. So yeah, back squat's bothering you, front squat or safety bar squat, or even giant cambered bar squat where you're kind of out here with the bar that's shaped like that. You can just put your arms down there. It'll probably help your shoulder feel a little bit better, but you can still squat and still get the benefit in your leg strength from squatting.
Ooh, throw me this one. Throw this one to me.
CTP, what do you do? Snatch pulls.
You just do them.
You just keep doing them. Good job, dude. Pull-ups. What do we do?
Horizontal rows. So that could be a dumbbell row. That could be a barbell row. In fact, if you have a tweaked shoulder, I would do whatever type of horizontal row that you do the least.
Heavy barbell row. The row machine does not count as horizontal row, right? This is too light. This doesn't count as a.
Oh, you're talking about like a rower.
That doesn't count that doesn't count.
Concept 2.
Because somebody asked me that. They said, I do a lot of the row machine. Does that count as my horizontal pulling? The answer is no.
Weighted row. Weighted row.
Weighted row.
Yeah. So bent row, pen lay row, dumbbell one arm row, dumbbell two arm row. Doesn't matter. Some type of horizontal row is probably your best bet. CTP loves that book. All right, welcome back. We're going to talk about what to do if you happen to feel particularly amazing. If you walk into the gym that day, you look at your workout and you go, man, I feel awesome. I feel explosive. I feel fast. I feel like I just have tons of energy right now. What do? Do you modify your workout? Do you leave it the exact same? What do we do? Mike?
if it is a day where modification, adding a little bit of volume is okay, if you're at that point in the training cycle, then what I would do is just add some sets. I would keep everything the same, percentages the same, and just kind of add some sets. Especially, anytime, that's how I like to roll. So I'll just do, instead of 4 sets of 2, I would do 5 sets of 2. Instead of 3 sets of 3, I would do 4 sets of 3. And additionally, if your technique is really good and your strength is what's holding you back, add the volume here on back squat snatch pulls. And if technique is what's holding you back and you're plenty strong and you're stronger than you are good at snatch and clean and jerk, I'd probably add the volume over here. But adding like a set to every single thing along the way is probably not the way to go. Pick maybe 2 exercises, add a set, and call it a day.
Yeah, you made some good points on volume. I would say just be careful on a day you feel really, really strong and you've got a weight plan for the back squat. Just make sure to think ahead to the next week of what you have planned then, because you feel great today and you go for a couple extra sets because you can. That might be fine if this is the 3rd week out of a training block and you've got a 4th week to rest. But if you got a next week, a heavy back squat training session planned, you got to make sure you account for that extra bit you added on today. So be careful when you feel amazing because you might dig yourself a little bit of a hole.
Right. Anytime you're making modifications or tweaks to an individual day's workout, you should be doing that with the context of, I know what I'm doing tomorrow, I know what I'm doing the next day, I know what this week's training block is designed to do, I know if I'm peaking and then next week's a deload week, I know if this is kind of a deload week where it's intentionally supposed to be a little bit lighter and that's why I all of a sudden feel amazing because the volume has been less. I'm supposed to feel amazing right now. I'm not supposed to screw it up by adding a bunch of volume when that's not the plan. So it definitely matters what the training program is intending for you to feel like.
Okay. What are we doing?
What if you only slept 3 hours last night?
A lot of margaritas got drunk and things got a little hairy.
There you go too. Yeah,
But we made it. What if you're hungover?
And you only slept 3 hours last night?
Go for PRs.
That's even worse. There's something about being hungover where you can hit a PR. Anecdotally, I found that to be true.
Yeah, anecdotally.
So if you are not recovered from the day before, you haven't slept, you feel very tired, you feel very groggy, but you don't want to skip the workout altogether, what are some tweaks that you can make to your workout?
I personally, usually the first thing to go is your accuracy and precision, which is very necessary when it comes to the Olympic lifts. Mm-hmm. So what I would do is I would lift up to that 80%. If you can hit 80% on your snatch and feel good about it, I would hit 80% and then move on to the next movement. If at any moment the snatch starts getting wobbly on you, just stop right where you're at.
Shut her down.
Yeah.
Just shut her down.
Shut it down.
Shut it down.
And just move on to the next exercise. Don't worry about how many sets and reps you did. If you start getting shaky, just shut it down, go on to the next thing. Clean and jerk.
Shut it down.
So same thing. Nothing crazy about that. Back squat. Should I just run through the whole thing? Is that what I'm doing? I don't know.
Well, go ahead.
Back squat, I would just find a 2-rep max, and I wouldn't worry about doing the drop sets of 10 and 20%.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'd probably just work up to 100% on snatch pull, do my pull-ups, and walk out. That's basically how I would do it.
Yeah, Mike brings up a very good point. When you are fatigued or you're under-recovered or you're just tired in general, the two things that tend to go away the quickest are coordination and speed. So your strength stuff, you probably can keep some of that in, although you might want to bump the volume down. As Mike said, taking off the minus 10% set and the minus 20% set and just building up to that 2RM. Maybe even take this 2RM and you just do kind of a technical 2RM, which is like a 2RM where you didn't really have to strain very hard. You didn't have to get motivated and grit and grind through it. It's just a very casual 2RM where you're not working too hard. That's okay on a day where you're trying to intentionally keep the intensity and the volume very low. And then since the snatch and the clean and jerk are very coordination, speed heavy, technical lifts, those lifts you can this isn't terribly heavy as it is since I said 80% and 75%. But you can make sure that if these were higher percentages, if this was 90%, this was 95%, or if you were intentionally trying to hit 1 rep maxes for that day, you could bump those percentages down. That way you're doing something a little bit lighter. What are you doing?
Make sure you keep those shorts tight, sir.
Just playing with my strings.
That way those lifts are a little bit lighter. You're basically practicing the skill of the lifts, and then you're doing some low volume strength work. Snatch pulls and pull-ups, you probably keep those the same. depending on how you feel. But that's an easy way to keep the volume low and where you're not going to potentially get injured by
We're keeping our hands out of the way. We
What
don't
do I do?
cause trouble.
You keep the volume low. That way you can get something done. You can get some benefit from your workout, but you're not doing too much and you're not getting hurt because you're tired, you're fatigued, and your coordination and your speed isn't what it could be. So if you want to get more videos like this one, you can go to barbellshrugged.com, click on the TechniqueWOD tab at the top of the page, and we have more videos just like this one in the library on the site. We'll see you another day.
Go over there and blow your wad. Join the conversation every week after the episode over at barbellshrugged.com. This is also where you'll find new episodes of Barbell Shrugged, TechniqueWOD, Nuggets and Pearls, Barbell Business, Get Change, plus new articles every day on our daily blog, written by us, guests of the show, and some of the biggest names in strength and conditioning. So, go there and leave a comment now. Oh my gosh, wow, that's so cool. Yay, that's so awesome.
Did you like this video? If so, subscribe to our channel and share this with your friends.
And if you want even more free, awesome resources to help you reach your fitness goals, plus some updates that we only share over email, head over to barbellshrugged.com and sign up for the newsletter.